Right now on KGW News, welcome to the future of flying.
I don't know, it's so natural and beautiful.
It's amazing. It's got a real Oregon feel to it.
Yeah, from the show-stopping new roof to a walk in the forest, the sights and sounds from opening day at PDX. Plus, the local district that's planning to ban smartphones just in time for the new school year. But first,
this is definitely a rare thing that we see here in Tigard.
The unnerving encounters at a local park that have police issuing a warning to women. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. We begin at 11 with police in Tigard looking for more potential victims after 3 women came forward saying the same man harassed or in one case grabbed them in a local park. Alma McCarty has the latest.
Wednesday night at Cook Family Park in Tigard.
This is a great park.
Cars filled the parking lot and families packed the playground. But 2 days ago, on this stretch of trail, Tigard police say a man approached at least 3 women who were walking or running here.
In 2 of the cases, it sounds like this man approached the women and got pretty close to their personal space, but they were able to kind of push him away and make it so that they could get away from that situation. The third woman, unfortunately, it sounds like this man came up from behind her and actually grabbed her rear end with both hands.
Kelsey Anderson with the department says officers responded quickly and found the suspect still in the wooded area where he was first spotted.
We don't know what the intent was, so it's fortunate that we were able to arrest him quickly and that nobody was hurt.
29-year-old Jonathan Temprana Olivares from Tualatin was arrested on charges of sex abuse and harassment. Investigators want to know if anyone else came into contact with him.
Even if you weren't physically touched, we still want to know.
Anderson says it's a reminder, even in a place as lively as this, to stay vigilant.
You need to be aware of your surroundings and look at things around you.
Other park goers like Renee Collum certainly agree.
Would maybe if I walked that part where it's the trees are thicker, I might have a friend with me. Sometimes I used to come here and walk by myself. So maybe I'll think twice about that.
And as of Wednesday night, the suspect is still in custody in the Washington County Jail. David?
Alma McCarty in the newsroom this evening. Thank you, Alma. Developing tonight, Portland police are asking for help identifying a man recorded on video abusing a dog. A warning, while we won't show you that video, the details in and of themselves are still disturbing. Police say the abuse was recorded on a security camera around 3:30 in the morning on August 2nd at an apartment building near Northeast Holiday and Grand. PBB says a maintenance worker at the complex reported this abuse to the Humane Society. The video also shows the man stopping the abuse when someone else gets on the elevator.
He's actively abusing the animal and then stops and waits as the door opens or a subject comes in, and then resumes that behavior once he believes the coast is clear. To us, that shows that this individual knew exactly what he was doing.
Authorities describe the suspect as white, about 6 feet tall and 175 pounds. Police say he is known to hang around businesses in the area. PBB detectives are trying to find the dog and get it the medical treatment it needs. If you recognize the person, contact the Portland Police Bureau. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines, a man who went on a deadly stabbing spree in Beaverton in 2019 will spend the rest of his life in prison. Salvador Martinez Romero was sentenced today for killing a 72-year-old woman and injuring 3 others. Police say he was high on meth when he bought a knife at a grocery store and went into a nearby Wells Fargo and demanded the tellers give him cash. He then stabbed 2 customers and, while trying to get away, stole 2 cars and stabbed both drivers. In Jackson County, 60 pounds of drugs are now off the streets after Oregon State Police stopped a truck Monday on I-5. Inside, troopers say they found 2 5-gallon buckets filled with blue pills suspected of being laced with fentanyl. That's the equivalent of more than 250,000 pills. State police arrested 2 people for possession and delivery of fentanyl. And in Lake Oswego, smartphone use will soon be banned for public school students. The school district sent an email to parents saying the ban will go into effect for the upcoming school year. It means students will not be allowed to have phones during the school day, though there will be exceptions for health or emergency reasons. Officials say they plan to release a more detailed plan soon. Portland Public Schools is working on its own plans to ban phones district-wide as early as next.
It's just open and airy and not congested or claustrophobic at all.
There's this really nice earthy element to it.
It's that Pacific Northwest vibe.
All right, now to the big day at PDX where passengers and Portlanders got to enjoy the grand opening of the long-awaited main terminal, part of a $2 billion project a decade in the making. It includes 9 acres of Douglas fir-mast timber overhead, 70-plus live trees, 120-foot-long video walls. All of this bathed in plenty of natural light. I was there anchoring our evening newscast, and I have to tell you, the space is stunning. Though if there is one thing folks at PDX want to stress, it is arrive early, because while the new layout might be more modern and efficient, even fun perhaps, chances are you'll also find it a little unfamiliar. Take a look.
The first thing you'll notice is that the check-in counters have been flipped into islands, making it easier to pass straight through if you don't have to check bags and already have your boarding pass. Otherwise, find your airline and, if needed, an agent. And check this out, whether or not you're a fan of self-serve, with Alaska, you can tag and drop your own bag right onto the belt. From there, head through the trees and into the new terminal's heart. You can grab a snack, shop, chill under the leaves, or maybe over there on the steps. Here's a hint, the restrooms are underneath and there are private universal user ones upstairs. And from here, you have 2 options. Turn left for B and C gates, right for D and E, though keep in mind, it all connects on the other side. Once you pass underneath the eye-catching video walls that change based on the weather, crowds, and time of day, we hope you'll sail through the new TSA checkpoints. And then, like before, follow the letter of your concourse. Though here's where you might notice another big change. Now both C and D are a straight shot, though if you're flying out of B or E, you'll need to take those temporary detour walkways, which may take a little extra time. And finally, if you're arriving off a domestic flight, this will be your view. Because the concourse connector, remember all your gates connect again, is also your exit lane. And while this change is only for the next year and a half, it means nearly everyone landing at PDX will find themselves stepping right into the middle of the action.
Yeah, it's going to be a little crowded for the next 18 months. Of course, we can't forget the all-important PDX carpet selfie, and since the old 1980s pattern, 1988, is back in some spots, I could not resist feeling it under my feet with some matching socks. Forgive me.
This has made a comeback. This is the classic from 1988, right? Yeah, I've got the socks. I know you probably shouldn't take your shoes off in public in the airport, at least until you get into security, but who could resist, right? Interesting fact about this, they had to change the dye 7 times to match the original hue of the carpet. So you can find it up here on the mezzanines. This is all public. The musicians are going to play on it downstairs in the main hall. Beyond security, come 2026, you're going to see it in 5 or 6 other spots. It's not only going to be a selfie spot, but if you got the socks, I guess you could do a sock selfie as well.
We are only going to do that one time, and that was today. All right, let's talk a little more about that mass timber roof overhead, which, by the way, some folks told us smells as good as it looks. I could not smell the Doug fir, but they swore by it. 18 million pounds of engineered wood were sourced within 300 miles through partnerships with 4 tribes in Oregon and Washington, including the Yakima Nation. Steve Rigdon telling me his ancestors would be proud. That's pretty powerful. And what is so inspiring also, it was sustainably grown and harvested. For example, Cow Creek Band of the Umpqua tribe in southern Oregon, they were cleaning up from a 2019 wildfire. The logs that they salvaged are the wood that found its way to PDX. How about that? Some sections also have what are called single origin stories, where you can actually pinpoint where the beams or the wood came from. You can look for markers to go up to tell those stories starting next month. Well, we have much more coverage of the big opening day on KGW.com. You can find a list of new shops and restaurants and old favorites making their return, along with a retrospective on the history of aviation in Portland, starting with the original airport in a different place and with a different name all the way back in 1927. New at 11, after 18 years in business, a popular local salon has closed its downtown Portland location. Dosha Salon on Southwest 5th says after effects of the pandemic, along with safety concerns, they decided to shut down.
Safety's been a big issue for us. I mean, you look out these big, beautiful windows and you just see things happening on the curb that don't make you feel comfortable being downtown. We've had our glass broken many times. We even had a bullet hole that came through the window. And so I just think that people don't feel safe. They don't want to be down here.
Yeah, still a good barometer to see how we're doing in that neighborhood. The salon still has 5 other locations in the Portland area. Well, also closing, though, temporarily, the Belmont Library in Southeast Portland in order to make way for a new and larger replacement. Check it out. The Multnomah County Library says it is keeping the small main building on Cesar Chavez, but it's adding on a big addition. It'll have a play area for kids, a teen area, meeting spaces, and updated tech. The library closes September 7th and is set to reopen late next year or in 2026. Straight ahead on KGW News on this Wednesday, more than a number, how a family is remembering the loss of a dad and grandfather and hoping others learn from their heartbreak. Then later, a 3-year partnership coming to an end, the big change impacting local sports fans for the season ahead.
And it is still wildfire season around the Northwest. Looking south from Mount Hood, you can see the smoke out there with Mount Jefferson Peak peeking on through. Farther south, though, tonight, we've got new thunderstorms and a lot of lightning beginning to bubble up. And there's a chance we'll get thunderstorms in the valley over part of the weekend. We'll let you know which part.